What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Five Field channel. Did you guys enjoy that intro? I hope you did, man. We got a new intro for the 2026 season here. I will be upgrading it throughout the season, making new intros throughout the year. That will not be the same intro. We got intros. We have graphics, as you see, as you guys see with the thumbnail. We have graphics now. That I'm going to be doing every week for the previews and other podcast here on the Big Five Fuel channel related to the Miami Dolphins. It is going to be a fun season here, guys. I'm telling you right now. It doesn't matter how bad this team is. It doesn't matter if we win 6 games, 7 games, 5 games. We could win 1 game and we're still going to have a fun year here on the Big Five Field channel. I don't know if it'll be a fun season if we only win 1 game. That would be kind of depressing. But, that could happen this year. And, there's ways to have a successful season for the Dolphins, even if they finish with 2 or 3 wins. And we'll talk about that here today. But first, I want to talk about something that is very important and that I wanted to bring upon here on the Big Five Field channel, and that is the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. Okay, my friend and super fan of the Miami Dolphins over on Twitter X, Big E. Ian Berger. He was the 2020 Miami Dolphins super fan. He was the fan of the year in 2020 for the Miami Dolphins. And I'm telling you guys right now, nobody is as loyal and as energetic about the Miami Dolphins as Big E is. And if you guys are following him on Twitter, you guys know about his fight with cancer that he has going on right now. So if you want to support Big E, you want to support my friend, head over to dolphinscancerchallenge.com. You can support Big E, Ian Berger, as well as many others going through this terrible disease. And the funds are being raised to fund cancer research at the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. And you can donate to there. And it's the smallest donations. It could be $10, $5, $20. Every dollar helps. And all gifts and tax deductible or 100% of all funds raised go directly to the cancer research and improving the lives of those impacted by cancer throughout the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. So I wanted to put that out there. You guys are going to hear me talking about that in the beginning a couple more times. But I just really want to put it out there. Go support my friend Big E Ian Berger. He is literally the heart and soul of the Miami Dolphins community on Twitter. And I don't think this fan base would be as tight as it is if it wasn't for him. So shout out to him, Big E. Love you, man. And we are praying for you with this fight with cancer. So I wanted to put that in there in the beginning of the video. Go ahead and donate to the dolphinscancerchallenge.com. That is very important. I will put a link in the description, okay? I will put a link in the description of this podcast. You can go to dolphinscancerchallenge.com. You could donate a couple dollars. Again, anything helps. $5, $10, $20. If you're feeling bold, you want to do 50, go for it, man. All right. We have a lot to talk about. With this joint practice between the Miami Dolphins and the Washington Commanders. And I went into this joint practice and this is what I tweeted out. I think this was in the middle of the joint practice or maybe like just before they started it, but this is what I said. I said I'm not worried about the Dolphins embarrassing themselves in practice like the 2025 team did in Detroit. I'm more worried about which young players are going to step up against the Washington Commanders in practice and not be afraid of the spotlight. And we have players that rose their stock today, and we have players that declined their stock today. And we'll also go over Jeff Hadley's press conference too, because that plays into Friday night's preseason game against the Washington Commanders. Um, okay. Yes, I just wanted to make sure that I have all that Jeff Hadley stuff up after we go over the practice. But all right, I want to dive right into it because there is so much to talk about. We're going to have the joint practice to talk about. Um, the Jeff Hadley press conference a little bit before the practice with the Commanders, and then we are going to preview Friday night's preseason game against the Washington Commanders. But overall, listen, I want to give a shout out real quick to the beat writers that were in Washington reporting at this on this stuff today, and that was David Furonis, Omar Kelly, and Joe Shad. But I was reading the timeline, like I'm trying to keep up with like what's going on in practice and who's doing good. And I'm sitting here, I'm so fucking confused because I'm reading so much stuff. Um, I'm reading stuff from Washington beat writers more than I am Miami Dolphins beat writers. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because I feel like all the tweets I'm seeing are stuff that's going on that's going on with Washington instead of the Dolphins. And yeah, I would say Washington won practice today. Okay, based off reading the reports, listen, people blow everything out of proportion these days. They are blowing everything out of proportion. The Commanders dominated 90% of practice against the Dolphins. From what I'm reading, I would go 70-30. I would say 70% of practice was owned by the Commanders and 30% of practice was owned by us. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, that's expected. That is expected when we have a team that is covered with 38% of the cap space going into this year, where 62% of the cap space is for players that are not even on the team this year. That is expected when you hand out a bunch of 1 year contracts because we have no cap money. When we have 13 rookies and eight second-year players. All the young players on this team, all the young guys, and um, you know, even the vets, like the guys like Marco Wilson and Alex Austin, who's starting at corner today. Um, it's hard. It's really hard. And reading this, like, guys, I'm not shocked. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not shocked because this is these guys. This is the young guys getting their first taste at it. They didn't even get the full appetizer. This is a taste. This is a tease. And they're going to get more on Friday with the game, obviously. But this is a teaser to these young guys because how better can you really get when you are practicing against your own team and you don't have an elite offense and you don't have an elite defense? Is that going to make the offense better? Is that going to make the defense better? They needed this. They needed this, what they got today against the Commanders. And I mean, all this, it's not all bad. Everything is not bad. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about the outcome. So, just a couple notes before we get into what happened in the majority of joint practice. A couple notes here on the Fins Extra page. Chop Robinson was Miami's best player today. That is awesome to read. This is a big year for Chop Robinson. He needs to step it up. He needs to have a good season for us. And I love hearing that he was our best player today. Um, the secondary and the offensive line struggled. According to Omar Kelly, the offense struggled, but Malik Willis made plays with his legs. I heard today was not a particularly good day for the offense. So I am expecting to see most of the offensive starters play in the preseason game on Friday night. Miami's special teams unit had impressive returns. That is nice. And the Commanders dominated today's practice. So, and then one of the beat writers for the Washington Commanders, Felix Trammell, on today's joint practice. The Washington Commanders showed that they were a better team. They won the day tremendously, and Miami at certain points could not run their offense because rushers were in the backfield so much. So that is from the Washington Commanders beat writer Felix Trammell. Take that with what you will. So, I am going to read about the practice. I have a practice report from the Sun Sentinel from David Furones. If I could just pull this up right here, that would be nice. Gosh, this is taking slow. See, like, it's telling me to fucking pay for a premium deal to read their articles. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. Okay. Alright, we'll read from the Palm Beach Post. We'll read Joe Shad's report on training on the joint practice today. So, I don't think this is in order. I don't think this is in order, but we will do with it what we will. So this is Joe Shad's report that I'm reading to you guys. All right. So 11 on 11 drills. Terry McLaurin made a sideline catch. It didn't say who it was on. And by the way, before I get into all this, I should list the guys that didn't practice today. Kevin Coleman Jr. Dealing with an injury. He was not out there today. Jamari Salyer, the backup guard, did not practice today. Zach Sealer is week to week with an undisclosed injury, which probably means he's going to be out for the rest of the preseason, which, you know what? That's fine with me because it's just going to put a bigger spotlight on the three defensive tackles, Kenneth Grant, Jordan Phillips, and Zeke Biggers. So that's fine with me. Let Zach rest for the rest of training camp and preseason, and let these guys get the majority of the work in. No Zach Zeeler, and then our secondary. Our secondary is probably our biggest concern coming out of today, but there was no Juju Brents. There was no Dante Trader Jr., and there was no Chris Johnson. He was seen with a helmet, but he was not participating in the drills. I don't know what's going on there. Jeff Halfley didn't say anything about Chris Johnson um, in the press conference today, so hopefully it's nothing serious, and I do want to see him on the field Friday night in the preseason opener against Washington. All right, so 11 on 11 drills. Terry McLaurin, he made a sideline catch. It didn't say who it was against. Jaden Daniels is having his way versus Miami's DBs, including finding Che Okongwu against Miles Battle and Major Burns. Malik Willis finds Malik Washington this time with a sidearm pass. He followed by showing off a strong arm to hit Caleb Douglas over the middle. Caleb Douglas, my boy, is balling out in training camp, and so far he is probably my biggest winner in all of training camp. I can't wait to see what he does in the preseason game on Friday night. Ethan Bonner broke up a deep throw to De'Ami Brown. And at that point, I saw David Furones tweet out something positive finally. And that was the tweet, was this breakup from Ethan Bonner onto De'Ami Brown. Facing serious pressure, Willis scrambles to salvage some yardage. Van Jefferson beat Jason Marshall on a crossing pattern to catch a Jaden Daniels throw. Alex Austin and Lonnie Johnson had Luke McCaffrey covered on incompletion. A.J. Henning caught a ball from Quinn Ewers for 25 yards. Kyle Lewis stuffed a run. I love hearing that. That's a good thing. You take the little victories with these teams, okay? You take any victory you can get with this team going into this year. Kyle Lewis getting in for a run stop, love hearing that. Quinn Ewers was sacked. Cam Miller finds Jalen Wright to convert on 3rd and 7. Malik Willis gains 15 on a pass to Caleb Douglas, then later scrambles for 7 yards and a first down. Odafe Owe sacked Malik Willis right after the right side of the line concedes pressure. That's not good, which means he was lined up against I'm assuming Austin Jackson and Jonas Savaianaya, and that line just collapsed. That's not good. That is not good at all. Amin Robertson broke up a pass to A.J. Henning, who bounces back with a 25-yard reception from Quinn Ewers. Marshall is having an uneven day. That's not good. I mean, on a day where he was the top corner out there for our team, no Juju Brents, no Chris Johnson, and Jason Marshall is our CB1, and he had that's not. I don't like hearing that, man. I don't like hearing that, and he's a projected starter on this team. Traylon Burks beat Zane Anderson and Michael Taft for a 70-yard touchdown from Jaden Daniels. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of those this year, man. Oh, man, that's rough. That's rough. Devon Achane ran 5 yards to set up a 3rd and 1, but Willis missed DJ Herman to convert. And then Mike Sanderstill intercepted Malik Willis after stepping in front of Malik Washington for a pick 6. Sanderstill then punted the ball to celebrate. Based off that play alone, I feel like Malik Willis is going to play Friday night, and we should see him. I want to see what some of the Malik Willis show is all about, and we'll talk more about that when we preview this preseason game against the Commanders. Charles Onwenu batted down a pass from Quinn Ewers. Douglas and Malik Willis combined for a 16-yard gain. Jacob Rodriguez and Keith Cooper combined to stop a run. Lawrence Cager caught another ball versus Major Burns. Fabian Moreau broke up Quinn Ewers' throw intended for Jalen Tolbert. The Commanders ran a hook and lateral with Antonio Williams pitching to Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Trick plays in a joint practice is pretty lame. I can't lie. That's lame. Jordan Brooks made 3 tackles in a 2-minute drill. You love to hear that. Michael Taft made a saving pass breakup in the back of the end zone as time expired. With 45 seconds left on the 30-yard line, Caleb Douglas makes a first down catch from Malik Willis to the 15-yard line. Amik Robertson deflects a Willis pass to Malik Washington, and then Charles Mweniyu sacks Malik Willis, setting up a third down with 5 seconds left, but time runs out. Practice is over. So there's obviously more here. Into the red zone. So they're doing red zone, I guess, now. Devon Achane loses 2 yards on a run. Malik Willis gains 6 yards on a run. Van Jefferson catches a corner route between Jason Marshall and Lonnie Johnson. The rest of this isn't really... Kenneth Grant prevented a big gain by Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Okay. Special teams work. We can skip that. More 11-on-11 drills. Zeke Biggers drew a false start on Washington's offensive line, and I did hear that our front line, our defensive line, had a pretty solid day today, and the Washington offensive line struggled, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing for sure. I love to hear that. Antonio Williams beat Major Burns for a 20-yard reception from Marcus Mariota. Max Llewellyn tackled the quarterback after a fumble snap. Jordan Brooks had a tackle for loss. Stephon Diggs made a touchdown catch in the back of the end zone. Michael Taft broke up a pass. Malik Willis missed Jalen Tolbert near the goal line with the defender trailing in coverage. Newcomer, offensive tackle, Caden Wallace gave up a sack to Jerzane Newton. He says Chris Johnson hasn't been working. Chris Johnson didn't practice today. Lonnie Johnson was beaten for a touchdown in the back of the end zone in the red zone drills. And then, is there anything? One-on-ones. Malik Washington caught a touchdown from Willis over Mike Sanders still. AJ Henning caught a touchdown from Willis. I don't really look too much into one-on-ones because I feel like when you're doing a one-on-one drill, the wide receiver always has the advantage and the defensive lineman always has the advantage because you're not trying to get around anybody else but that one corner in front of you and but that one offensive lineman in front of you. So they have that space to get around and to get open or to get to the quarterback. One-on-one lineman drills. Odafe Owe got around Patrick Paul. Javon Kinlaw got a swim move on Caden Proctor. And Kalavon Kason got by Austin Jackson. Overall, Washington's D-line got the better of Miami's O-line. Aaron Brewer did well, but Deron Payne beat Jonas Savanea, and Paul later committed a holding penalty. So, one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to be these idiots on social media, on Twitter, and say, Caden Proctor's are bust. Jonas Savaiinaia sucks just like he did last year. Patrick Paul is regressing. Like, guys, really? This is your first reaction after a joint practice where we didn't get embarrassed. They won the Washington won the practice, but we did not get embarrassed out there. Like, guys, really? This is the type of shit that you're saying? And I really hope too that before we get into the Jeff Hadley conference, I just want to talk about this a little bit. I really hope that today's practice kind of set Miami Dolphin fans into reality, because I've seen too many Dolphin fans. And don't get me wrong. Excuse me. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for football to be back. I'm excited to see my guys in the aqua and orange back. I'm very excited for that week 1 game against the Vegas Raiders. But guys, we've got to be realistic with ourselves here, man. We have got to be realistic here. The expectation going into this season is very low for the Miami Dolphins. We have close to low, from low to zero expectations. Look at the cap. This team currently covers 38% of the cap. That's it. That's it. Only 38%. And everybody, not just the team, everybody is going to have growing pains this season. Jeff Hadley is going to have growing pains. He's going to make mistakes. Malik Willis is going to have growing pains. He's going to make mistakes, guys. He's only started 6 games in the NFL. So maybe he's not even unlocked. He might not have even unlocked all of his potential yet, guys. And with all the young talent on our team, I don't think preseason depth charts mean anything. But you look at that depth chart that came out, 5 of our starters on our team are rookies. The expectation is very low. It is very low. This is like an evaluation year to see who can be good pieces for the future of the Miami Dolphins. Did we draft the right players this past draft? Did John Eric Sullivan hit on 6 or 7 of these draft picks? Because if he hit on 6 or 7, like around 6, 7 draft picks, that's a dub. That's a dub. And if we walk away from games and we are evaluating the team and evaluating players and say we lose by 10 to the Kansas City Chiefs, but hey, you know what? Caleb Douglas got better today. Caleb Douglas had 6 catches for 80 yards. Jacob Rodriguez had 11 tackles. Jordan Phillips got a sack. Chris Johnson had a pass breakup on Rashee Rice. Guys, those are all going to be positives coming out of that game. Sure, we lost. It is what it is. But it's the development of these players and making sure we have the right guys for the future. So that when we do have that cap space and we go fill out the holes that we need, secondary, pass rushers, wide receivers, we're set. We're set. And I've said it again. I've said it before. And I'll say it again. This season is mostly about three things. Making sure we have the right head coach in Jeff Hafley. That's number one. Did we hire the right guy? Number two, do we have our franchise quarterback? Is Malik Willis the answer? If we go 3-14, but he develops and you see him get better, and by the end of the year, you think to yourself, we went 3-14 this year, but Malik Willis had himself a pretty dang good season. He's our franchise quarterback. Now we got to go into off season. We just got to build around Malik Willis. That would be fucking incredible. That would honestly be the best case scenario. And then the development of these young players. Seeing these guys get better week in and week out, every week. Those are the main takeaways from this season. So I really hope that today's practice and, the Commanders winning that practice and Jaden Daniels lighting up our defense, I really hope that set fans in the reality that, what, man, I got to pump the brakes. I got to think about the realistic expectations of this team. And the realistic expectation is that we are a young team. We are very inexperienced. And, we would be lucky to win 3 games. The Dolphins would be lucky. I wouldn't say lucky to win 3 games. I take that back. But I think they will at least win 3 games this year. That's my expectation going into the season. All right. Jeff Hafley. Let's get into Jeff Hafley's press conference. And he talked about the preseason. And he expects Malik Willis to be featured in Friday's preseason game. Love that. I want to see Malik Willis on the field. He said Zach Sealer will not practice today and is set to be week to week. It's fine by me. He's out for the preseason. It gets more spotlight on the young pass rushers that we have on the defensive linemen. Get him ready for the regular season. And this was Hafley. If I could find it. Crap. I don't think I can find it. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, wait. I think it's from Joe Shad. Hold on. Yes. Okay. Got it. This is Jeff Hafley on his plan for the preseason game on Friday night.
We all know things can change, but at the moment, are you planning to get Malik Willis some action in the preseason game?
I am, yeah. But like you said, things can change.
what do you like about getting some of the veterans time in the preseason?
We're young, so like when you say veterans, how many guys that we have that have been through this year after year? It's just not who we are as a team right now. I talked to the staff about that this morning, and in a perfect world, in these joint practices, you get your so-called 22 starters, 30 to 35 reps. You give them tomorrow, walk through, and then they don't really play very much. But as you go through our team right now, there aren't many of those guys. So we have to gain experience. So we will carefully look, and I'm telling you this like exactly like I told the staff, we got to see how many reps those guys play today. How many reps do our starting O-line get today, our so-called starting offensive line play today? Then what do we feel comfortable with them playing in the game? So if a guy gets 30, 35 snaps, are we okay with them getting 10 snaps Friday night?
There you go, guys. So, I can tell you right now, my prediction based off, um, based off today's practice and how the offense performed, it was a very underwhelming day for the offense outside of Caleb Douglas. I expect the offense to play. I wouldn't play everybody. I'm going to transition now into talking about the preseason game, by the way. I wouldn't play everybody. I don't think Devon Achane needs to play in preseason. If you want to play him for a series, I guess. But I don't think Devon Achane needs to play. I don't think Austin Jackson needs to play. I don't think Aaron Brewer needs to play. But he says, based off the reps, we will decide how much the guys will play in preseason. Based off today's practice and like the offense was pretty underwhelming, I'm expecting most of our offensive players to play. So, Malik Willis, I feel like I need to see Malik Willis out there. That's probably what my biggest takeaway is going to be from that preseason game is how is Malik Willis. We're going to get a little bit of a taste of the Malik Willis show. Is he going to use his legs? Is he going to be scrambling out of the pocket and looking to throw? Is he going to be in the pocket throwing? Are they going to work strongly on the running game? I need to see a little bit. And, I mean, I won't be too mad if, like, Achane's playing or Austin Jackson's playing or Brewer's playing. They want to get all the guys together. Like, I could see that happening. I would just be cautious about, oh, my gosh. I would be cautious about Achane and Austin Jackson. Those are two guys that we need so bad in this offense. And then defense, we know that Zach Sealer is not going to play. And I think everybody else is going to play, man. I think Chop's going to play. The three defensive tackles are going to play. Joshua Uche. And in the depth chart, it says there's two competition battles. It's the defensive tackle next to Zach Sealer. It says Kenneth Grant or Jordan Phillips. And then for the second linebacker, the middle linebacker, it says Tyrell Dotson or Jacob Rodriguez, which I don't like, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a preseason depth chart. I'm not taking it too seriously. But I will say, why I think it should be Jacob Rodriguez. Why put the or next to his name? You know Jacob Rodriguez is the future. You know this entire year is about evaluating talent and evaluating the rookies, particularly the young guys on this team. So why wait? That's my thing. Why wait when we know Jacob Rodriguez is the future next to Jordan Brooks? Tyrell Dotson is not the future. I would start Jacob Rodriguez from the first week, and if I'm John Eric Sullivan, I would be looking to trade Tyrell Dotson now because the more you bench Tyrell Dotson, and T Dot's coming off a good year, man. I will say, T Dot had a very good year last year for the Miami Dolphins, but I would start Jacob Rodriguez because I don't see a point of waiting, and then I would look to trade Tyrell Dotson because his value, the more he sits, the more his value is gonna go down, man. So, and then secondary, I mean, it's probably going to be the same guys that were out there today. Um, I don't expect Juju to be out there. I don't expect Dante Trader to be playing this game. I mean, hopefully we see a little bit of Chris Johnson. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Our rookie corner who was not in practice today. I would like to see him out there, but then it's gonna be mostly, it's gonna be like Jason Marshall Jr. It's gonna be AJ Green, Lonnie Johnson, Ethan Bonner, and then our safety, Zane Anderson and Michael Taff. I'm not thrilled about it. My biggest concern right now is our secondary, and I will be watching it closely on Friday night. But I'm mostly looking forward to Malik Willis. I do think he needs to play. I think he is going to play. The question is, how much is he going to play? Is he going to be in there for a series? Is he going to be in there for the first quarter? Is he going to be in there for the first quarter and maybe half the second quarter, and then it's over to Quinn Ewers? I don't know. We'll find out, but I think I got everything covered. Wow. I think I got everything covered here today. So I appreciate you guys joining me, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the graphic, the new thumbnail. Gonna be making thumbnails all throughout the season, and the new intro made a nice little intro for you guys too. And I'll be changing that all throughout the season as well. So and then don't forget, donate Dolphins Cancer Challenge. I will put the link in the description of this podcast. Okay. And then I will be back Friday night. First post-game recap, kind of the season. We're here, man. We're here. We have a game on Friday night. We have a game. All right? And I will see you guys Friday, right here on the Big Five Field channel. So subscribe, comment down below, tap the bell for notifications. That way you get notified when my podcast comes out Friday night after the game against the Commanders, okay? Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. And follow me on Twitter and TikTok, Conlon_Joseph. I am going to try my best to tweet as much as possible during the preseason game. If you know me, I usually live tweet during the game, and I like give the score and stuff like that. Although we're watching, I won't do that for preseason. But all right, guys, that's all I got. Subscribe, comment. I will see you Friday night. Have a good night. Stay safe, and as always, go Dolphins.